to have a little ribbon cutting here in a second. First, I want to thank you all for coming, and I really want to very much thank Randy Walker, who's the artist in our product. We'll hear from him in just a second. But I also want to extend a very special thanks to TowerLight Senior Housing, the building right behind me, and the Rotland Company for financially contributing to the Dream Elevator project, which is of course right behind me here. This whole corridor is coming together extraordinarily nicely in anticipation of light rail transit, which is going to be here hopefully in a few years. But it's really been just a remarkable transition of this whole corridor over the last several years, and this is sort of, I regard this as one of the keystone pieces of it in sort of incorporating public art into corridors like this. You can see this across the street with the park benches and the interesting sculpture and all of that. So it's really been a remarkable project. So we're going to hear from Randy Walker, is the artist, and the Dream Elevator, it was inspired by the Nordic Ware Tower, which is about a mile away from here. The Nordic Ware Tower is interesting. I went to that in about 1999 or 2000 on its 100th year anniversary. The Nordic Ware Tower is the oldest freestanding concrete grain elevator in existence in the country. It was built as a demonstration project apparently in 1899 to I guess demonstrate that you could make a grain elevator out of concrete. They were making them out of wood up until that time, which of course was a terrible fire hazard, and it's still there. They discovered, in an interesting little piece of history, they discovered that the Nordic Ware Tower did not have a foundation underneath it because it was never actually used as a grain elevator, and apparently a diving school wanted to use it to fill it up with water and have people jump in it and practice scuba diving. I'm not making that up, and God knows I could, but I didn't. And so they discovered that there was no foundation underneath it when they went down to figure out where it would stand with all the water in it. So they put a foundation underneath it, and that serves as the inspiration for our Dream Elevator. So with that, I'm going to have Randy Walker, our artist, come up here and tell us a few words about the project and about what inspired it. Come on up. Good evening. Here we go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm pretty sure that we put a foundation under this, but my structural engineer is here and we can verify that later. I was inspired by the original P.V. Hagelin grain elevator, which I at the time knew nothing about. I didn't know what it was. I saw the Nordic Ware insignia on it, and when I learned the story of that structure, I was very inspired to create a piece of art that not only was kind of an homage to that structure itself, but also to the spirit of innovation and experimentation and risk-taking. It seemed an appropriate spirit to build a sculpture for this particular site, especially when it was so close to the site. And much of my work, all of my work, is based on existing structures and spaces that I find that are part of a particular place and a particular place's history. So that was a great find to discover that structure. And with that, it was a great partnership with the city of St. Louis Park and also TowerLight, the developer. There were a lot of people that made this happen, and I think that every fabricator and everyone that actually worked on this and planned this was pushed a little bit. The boundaries of what they did were pushed. They were challenged to do something innovative, from the concrete casting to the stainless steel, to the fiber itself, to the lighting, to the design of the plaza itself. I think everyone was challenged and pushed beyond their normal boundaries. So I'd like to thank all those people, too many to name, but the City of St. Louis Park and TowerLight Senior Housing and Forecast Public Art, and my structural engineer Chris Arlenson, Principal Engineering, and I hope that this strange structure is inspiring and indicative maybe of what might happen in the future as far as exploration of ideas and risk-taking. So, and I could just keep rambling until the lights come on, because if everyone's cold and it's all, but I encourage you to experience it when the light is on. It's quite a different piece. the light comes on with the street lights, and the street lights are on sensors. And if I was a sensor, I would probably come on
like right now.
Right now, but I'm not a sensor. So anyway, but it's neat to go inside at night, and you can tell when somebody's inside the structure at night too, because you can stand over the light, and that of course will change how the piece is viewed as somebody moves across the structure. So thank you very much.
All right. Well, good. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you.
All right. The difference, Randy, of course, is you talk until the lights go on. I typically talk until the lights go out. And so with that, we're going to bring up Saul, and he's going to help us cut this ribbon. And we do have the special St. Louis Park Rock'em Sock'em ceremonial scissors here that are real live scissors. And so, all right, come out of here, Saul. We'll ready to cut the ribbon. Ready? Come here. Grab a hold of this. Now I'll recite some provisions of the Internal Revenue Code until the lights come on here for you. I'm sure it'll keep you entertained for a little while. That concludes our ceremonies for now, and hopefully the lights will come on, and then when the airplanes fly over, they'll know exactly where St. Louis Park is.
Exactly.